Fine. Hey guys, and welcome to KnightLyfe. We're here to bring you a great discussion on fan service and anime. We have quite the crew here today, so we're going to go around and have everybody introduce themselves. Let's start back here.
I'm Latrell.
I'm Connor.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Chris, and we have a special guest over Skype.
I'm the other Connor, the one that makes really weird voices and crap.
Alright.
I can't think of that guy.
Well, anyway. Alright, so the first thing we gotta put out there is what is fan service? Alright.
Oh, is that the reason why you made me look it up?
Well, everyone has to do research anyway, but the question is, what is fan service? In order to widen the umbrella.
Well, I completely lost it. I'm so confused.
Alright, Joe, can you say your friend here?
Alright. Fan service, as I know it, is any decision made in an anime or show that brings in mostly appeal to the watcher. It's not something that needs to be done, it's just something that kind of just gives them a boost. It's like cameos from actors or famous people, or such things as excessive amounts of fight scenes or sexual scenes. It can be just about anything that really goes towards the viewer.
Exactly. And so, fan service, as a whole, fan service as a whole is really out there. I mean, especially in anime with every single genre out there. It could be great in some genres, overused in some genres, and sometimes it's just not enough in others. Or as some people will argue later on, that it's just not needed at all. But so, first off, let's go in and because you found something earlier about how certain things like horror were classified as.
Well, from what I was looking up, all the, like when horror genre has, or anime, manga, when it has all these long fight scenes, it's pretty much fan service because it's technically it's put in there, but it's not needed. Where also like when some for the genre, when you have mecha, the long shots of just showing the robots and stuff, that's fan service.
Robot anime.
Yes, it is. And of course, what he's going to talk about, a lot of the sexual animes is pretty much all fan service.
And bullshit!
Anyway.
Always.
Shut up.
So,
yes, you don't need them.
Connor P., what's your take on this?
Well, I can go pretty much anywhere with this. I could go anywhere between shipping to the excessive amount of screaming that is known from Dragon Ball Z.
Actually, in Dragon Ball Z, that was not fan service, that was filler. Because they didn't want to add additional episodes, they just over-elongated certain scenes.
Screams.
Mess you up.
Over 9,000?
No, over 9,000. Over 9,000 was some
Over-
error which everybody picked up.
9,000
Never let go. No, it was actually because over 9,000 was that they had to pick a number that fit in with the same amount of lip movement, and over 9,000 is the only one that fit.
It's over 9,000!
We're digressing from our topic.
Oh yeah, that was.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, it was funny. I had to use it.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, alright. What genres do we know just coming out there that can use excessive amounts of filters besides playing actually?
Superhero movies!
Yes, because
Yes.
That is almost entirely fan service.
I'm gonna say this now. We're gonna exclude ecchi because it is made to be kids. It's made
It is.
to be put out there.
Yes,
It's made to be sexual.
pretty much. It is made to not have a story. It's just
Yes.
Actually,
softcore porn.
Actually,
Excessive
some
amounts
stories
of
actually
smut.
do have really good plots.
It all depends.
Tell me some.
No, some ecchis really don't.
High School DxD.
It would have a really good plot even without the
Oh.
ecchi. The ecchi is only added because, let's be honest, it has
The whole
a
thing is ecchi.
exactly. It's ecchi, but it's not needed.
Guys,
You can have a great
Shuffle.
manga without the ecchi. It could all be subplot.
But I'm just gonna say this now. You know, High School DxD, yes, it has ecchi, but it doesn't really have as much as you might think it does from the anime.
It really doesn't. Like, if you want to say
It's
something
actually-
that's purely ecchi, a better
Especially-
example is. Oh, there's
Ikitosen.
literally. Huh?
Ikitosen.
Ikitosen is literally, let's fight and rip all our clothes off. Because every anime needs excessive bouncing boobs, and it's stupid as fuck.
Dude, I am trying to drink something while you're making these jokes.
Well, no, there was one other, which is,
It was,
it's
uh,
literally entirely, let's just see tits with
Sekiro?
talking. No,
Isn't
Sekiro
that-
had a plot. If you read the manga,
Yeah,
it's way less sexual.
It's not sexual in the manga at all.
But it does have excessive fan service, which is one I would go to, which is, if it had less,
There
I
was
would
one
be
I
way
was
more
looking up
attracted to
that
it.
it was
more
actually
sexualized.
technically there was one. It's called Tenchi Toshin. It's meant to be a fighter, but it's pretty much just all fan service in the anime.
Yeah. A really good example of something that was made just for fan service is there's literally this anime called Praise no Stigma?
Yeah,
Yes,
Kaze no
literally,
Stigma.
to gain your power, you
No.
suck on a chick's tits.
Not Kaze no Stigma, it's called Pleasure no Stigma.
And like, how is that a thing?
Alright,
That is just unnecessary.
anyway. Alright. So, Connor P., what can you provide for more examples that haven't already been mentioned before?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Alright, we're talking about examples like how we mentioned High School DxD, Quasar, No Stigma, and others like that. What, that's like more of the ones that are meant to be edgy, right? You know,
Yep.
So, now, do you know anything for fan service that's not, definitely edgy, that seems to be way too much of it?
Well, shipping stuff that shows up in the anime itself, or even the show. Take Ruby, for example.
Wait, can I just, come in here? That very rarely happens. That's normally only in webcomic to smaller studio-type things. Most mainstream anime will never do that.
Something like One Punch Man could end up doing that, but Ruby could do
One
it
Punch
too.
Man actually, I
Wait,
think
are we
they
Wait,
even,
with
like,
the ship.
are we gonna be also discussing
Oh.
like how people not for the original story but write their own stories for it too?
Fan fiction is a completely separate
Yeah,
thing.
that's a whole different.
Fan fiction out
discussion.
there.
No, because for
Yeah.
shipping, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
But-
shipping, but shipping leads to fan fiction. It's what people,
Okay.
But yeah, you
Sure.
brought up One Punch Man, which would be a great one into the next one. It's just excessive, overpowered characters.
But,
That is the epitome of fan service. It is the Superman to all your things. It's bringing in somebody so strong and unstoppable that there's no real point to it anymore.
I think it's at this point that I should mention Bleach.
Bleach does it, but they still bring in something OP enough to fight it for like 5 minutes and then lose.
yeah.
But it has a lot of character development along the way.
A lot of character development.
Actually, no. Actually, Bleach only has like 3 characters that they pick. Comparatively,
Yeah,
they have a wide range of normal-chested people. So
True.
they do. They
Yeah.
did a lot of fan service in the beginning, but it was all like high school jokey type. It was never like hardcore. Like, a lot more. One Piece. One Piece, they legit just go, oh yeah, this chick's 16. Her tits are bigger than her head.
It
Yeah.
also sounds like Devil's a part-timer.
Yes.
She-Hulk.
Yeah,
She
but that's like
has-
that one character. Like when it's only that
All the
one
others are
character,
normal.
it's never much of an issue. But like with things like One Piece, every main chick has
Nami, Robin.
Nami's grew bigger over a 2-year time skip. Literally, they were big as hell, and all of a sudden, she has less clothing to cover them. Oh yes,
That
yes.
is fan
Let me
service
add
as well.
less to cover more.
I mean, that right there is fan service in itself, with clothing getting shrunken now and less.
Isn't Nami like 18 in the 2 years?
Nami is
after,
not legal
no,
unless
after
it's in
like
Japan.
2 year after like the 2 year time skip.
Yeah, the two is a different story. But I
But
mean,
actually, speaking of that,
now-
like, the reason they can only do that with young chicks in Japan is because
Consent
legal age
age
is
is
a lot lower.
14.
no, I mean,
Consent age is
if you want
14.
to, I mean, off topic for a second, but if you want to do something like, if you look at the characters like 14, 13 years old and their kids are bigger than the head. All right, that it's not
Oh,
safe.
It's not
or-
okay.
That's
Oh,
not
okay.
okay, but like then again,
Oh.
if you think
Oh.
about it, you can have big boobs. at
Wait,
that
I
age.
just remember something.
They
that-
just do it for
I'm sure. I'm not sure if you guys watch, but Heaven's Lost Property.
Oh
That
God!
that is fan
Wait,
service.
no.
central.
Heaven's Last Property pretty much started as just etchy, funny, supposed to be super perverted, and then it got a story. Like, in development, there was a point when they decided either we go on and make this serious, or we don't. And they decided to go serious. So the beginning to it was very sexual, and that's kind of why. But afterwards, it got a lot more
weren't
serious.
they trying to make it like
They were trying to make it a super, like,
no,
etchy
they
thing,
were
yeah.
trying to make it like a trauma, like funny, but with just that's
And then
just
it
with
got
the etchy
serious
part.
as hell.
Oh yeah. Now speaking of Tama, anything that's classified as parody can be considered fan service too. So let's bring in animation from other.
No, it
other
actually
animes.
is.
No, it
yeah.
is, but it's no. The reason they do it is a lot different. It's not fan services and look, we're just gonna bring this, just do this. No, it's the whole point of it. It's we have to
Parody.
appeal
No,
to
they
you.
had
That's
they
it.
had to
But
categorize
But no,
it.
it's an entire
No,
thing. It's
if
fan
you actually
service.
look at all what Gintama does, you can actually categorize it. It's categorized as parody, but if you go deeper down, you can actually categorize it with the fan service.
Yeah, of course. They make references to everything, and that's the accent. That's like essentially what it is.
All right. Now,
But what other things? Like excessive amounts of fan service in different ways.
all right. No. We have somebody oversaid that we're cutting off constantly.
Oh yeah.
So let him voice his opinions too and his, views, and you guys work off of that.
Oh, no.
So Connor,
Where'd you go?
Harry,
Brother, where'd you go?
Apologize.
anyway.
All right. So
So, do you have anything interesting to bring up in this topic? With
Not right
fan
now.
service and anime?
all right.
Not at
If
the
you
moment.
Can I go on for next?
Well, yeah. So we're gonna try. Remember, keep your voices low
Yeah.
so you can hear him if he tries to.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I think is fan service in different ways is good and bad. Like, I honestly don't think we need sexual fan service anymore. One, only because, let's be honest, subplot is so much better. Like, you can see some chick jump on a dude and pretty much try to screw him right there. Cool, now I know what's going on. But if you see, like, those subplots where they're walking home together and it ends, and you're like, did they or didn't they? It adds more to the story. It adds a possibility. It adds, like, you can actually go home and go, maybe they did. You can make your own story off of it. But like when they just put it blatantly out there, one, it's just for views and tits, and two, it just kind of makes it boring because you're constricting what can be seen through it. So I really think sexual in general, is not as needed as it is put out there to be.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, animes had none of it, and they did way better. Like all the great classics didn't really have.
You've got to remember, they're trying to fight. They're trying to appeal to a hormonal teenage fan base.
They were then too.
Yes,
And they appealed with giant robots and magical girls.
You got to remember though, if you
Fully dressed.
if you look back 30, 40 years ago in time, the way sexual things were viewed back then were a lot more restricted to what they are now in today's modern times.
It's true.
That it
Actually,
kind
let
of
me-
depends. It kind of
let me,
depends because at the same time, was restricted? It really wasn't. We had a lot of the same things, just different.
Latron, there is an anime I always still watch. It's called the Tenchi Muyo series. It's been around. Even the manga is still continuing. It's been around for 30 years. The whole first part of like the whole thing, there's romance, but there's no like big tits. Like, and this came out in like the 80s. There's no big tits. But they just put out a new series for its 30th anniversary. And you got a chick who walks around with a giant spiked bat whose shorts are God knows what.
Non-existent.
Yes.
Might as well just be wearing there.
Yes.
Anyway.
And her tits are bigger than my head.
Alright. I just got up to see what Tenchi Muyo
Well,
is. Isn't that a...
change.
Wait 1 minute. That's the dude who's super unlucky and goes into space, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that
No,
has fan service.
that's actually the next character in the series. That's
Yeah, but that's
Seiya Yamada.
Guys,
That had a lot of things.
now, something I would like to bring up is, what about fan service and romance animes?
Fanservice and romance and
No,
very different.
no, yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Fan service is such a broad generalization because based on the genre, whether it be, action, all even sports, even school life, fan service each one is made particularly for that subject matter, which is why they're not always sexual. But I mean, take Free, which is a sports, it's a lot of musculature, but again, that's fan service in its own way.
Sports anime tend to be
Not
bodies. Oh,
actually, not all of them.
most do.
Kuroko no Basket.
I was just about to put that up. Kuroko no Basket
I
doesn't do it.
I should know.
Kuroko no
Kuroko no
Basket's fan
Basket.
service is mainly in the
Yep.
athletic aspect of the guys. That is more. It's not like
That's
show your body.
superhuman.
It's shit.
Well,
they're really
Lily,
good.
from
I
what
should 21 never did that either.
Well,
Actually,
Lily, from the
21 was
first-
actually a really good nonsense.
from the first season, because I have not watched the other two seasons, the only fan service,
Look at the radical.
yeah, or when the coach wanted to see him without their shirt.
That was it. The whole thing. I've seen the whole subject matter. Oh man.
But
Oh.
see, for me, I think for romance, the genre, I think you have to put fan service in it just to make it a little bit more better. Because just with the
what type of
subject
fan
matter.
service?
Well, see, for that, for romance, for like, what I mean is like,
Like, what type of fan service? Like,
Alright.
sexual or like?
I gotta like the sexual. You have to put it in there.
I don't think
you
do. One minute,
you
one
don't
minute.
have to use it extensively. Like,
So
of course, the girl gonna come up and hug you
Alright,
and stuff,
so-
like smother you with your.
Nice. What Connor's trying to get across is minor sexual things like, the hugging hand and making, romantic gestures is fine. But
Wait,
the fact that
I think it can succeed.
well,
well.
and what you're looking at is, you don't feel like the panty shots and all that other sexual
No,
things.
no. I mean, like, legit. You don't really need it. Like,
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
because I have two
That-
very good examples for like one with it and one without.
Yeah,
Both of them did well though. The first is I don't remember its name. It was this old one. It was pretty much the idea is there's this guy. He travels to another planet and it's mainly populated by women. And what was it?
Girls Bravo.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
girls,
that's
Yes,
Bravo.
Girls Bravo.
Girls
It was supposed to be romance, and it went into it, but it did it with super high amounts of fan service. But honestly, it wasn't as, it didn't have the punch that actual romances had. But what did was Kanad, and I don't really remember just about any fan service of blatant amounts of Kanad. There was no boob shots, there was no, like, swimsuits or excessive amounts of body show. There really wasn't. It was just this cutesy high school romance. The biggest fan service you got was a 100-hit combo on a dude. Like, it didn't need it, and it did so perfectly without it.
But Latroy, you also have to look at it to view from who is actually watching it.
High school boys.
The time-
That is the biggest audience I know for it, and they
Actually,
all love
no,
it.
no. Actually, there is a whole magazine that is just full of that does just for fan service manga and anime, all for women.
All right. Now,
No, I know. It's
Shogo ma-
JoJo I.
okay.
No, that's like it's a broad term too.
Now, what they just brought up is a term we like to mention as target audience, because again, with fan service, it's all based on what the target audience is trying to be.
Exactly. With Hanad, it's everyone. Therefore, the fan service they needed was in the romance.
And
it
then-
wasn't in anything sexual.
and then you
It was
got-
just-
And then you got Girls Bravo, which is meant to be for the horny teenage
Boys.
boy.
And
So of course,
you get free, which is for the not really that horny, but
But they-
really wanting it girl.
yeah.
All right.
And guys,
Anyway,
it's for everybody.
so Connor, based on what you've heard, is there anything you would like to interject?
I'm just listening right now.
all right, Connor. I have a question for you. Now, I want to move away from anime a little bit, and you like movies, right?
Yeah.
Pick your biggest, most fan servicey movie that you can think of, and what would it be?
Does it have
Biggest,
to be
most fan servicey movie. Well, in a couple of weeks there will be the Deadpool movie.
That doesn't count. It hasn't come out yet, but God, it will be.
Yeah,
Have you seen any of the trailers? There's enough content in there to know that it's going to be
Alright.
fan service upon fan service
It
upon fan
is,
service.
but
They're
that's
playing
Deadpool.
very good tribute to the character, and the character likes to break the fourth wall. And that's what the fans want.
guys, Connor, what Lachelle is trying to get across is, based on movies that are out currently or been out in the past.
Yeah, like-
is why he's trying to get across.
Oh, actually,
Off the top of my head, I don't have any.
well, actually, all right. Then, I have an idea for one that actually did sexual fan service, right? The Titanic. And this sounds weird, but one, it was a built-up thing. Unlike in most animes that do it, it didn't just happen. It was a moment that was built up throughout, and it got delivered. But it got delivered right. It wasn't forced. It wasn't dropped through on just whim. It was this beautiful scene of it happening, and for a reason. He wanted to see her kiss, but he used the taking excuse.
I think I have to add something though. Movies have the time and the script showing what they're doing.
Anime
Yeah.
does the same thing.
No,
Yes,
anime
no,
has
but-
more time. That's what I hate about it. They all put it in the first episode. Like a good fan service moment would be later on when it's deserved. Like you don't see her boobs walking in.
But
no,
you gotta,
it's like
no, but
7
you gotta
episodes
admit,
later with a kiss or when
with
something
with
farther
this,
happens.
with the team working on a movie, the actors have to know what they're doing, what they're feeling, what they're doing, to show that. Where anime, you have to follow the manga or whatever is given to you before you can actually break off and start doing that fan service.
I don't really think that's true because what it more is, it's not you have to follow anything. It's you have the normal script, but with a movie, people have to actually budget time. That's the thing. They have to look at every moment a bit
Alright,
longer than it takes because you have to make it precise,
as
which they don't really do with anime, which is why a lot of times
if
things
I could
drag
just-
on.
say something. The difference between a live action movie, which is what most movies tend to be, unless they're like, an anime movie film or something along those lines, is the live action movies there's more feeling behind the actors because it's human contact. Which is what Titanic was, all human. So you can go in and work with your fellow actor and go, alright, how do we get this right? And how do we make it appeal so it doesn't look horrible? And you have that time to contact and go around.
Oh, so it doesn't look like a basic porn scene?
Yes, but the fact is with anime, which is all animation, which is drawn out, which is, put into a program, which is all, tons of, time, hours and hours of effort to do. Trying to get stuff like that, all you're working off is what you have drawn up and what you have written up, and that's all you're working with trying to get the scene. So that's why if something sometimes it may not mean to become sexual or fan service, like, it's just the way it's, inputted.
I wouldn't really say that. Like, just let me
Alright.
do this, but like my thing is with animation, you have the time to make it feel as real as you want. Sometimes it's rushed, but like there have been great examples of anime where like just the character interaction has easily, for me, beaten out normal films. Because I've seen many shit movies where the actors couldn't really figure out what the fuck they were doing. And there's been many good ones. But like with animation, it's not based on like, oh, is it good or bad? No, it's all how much effort is put into making it natural. So some can come off as naturally as day and just put it all perfectly together. And some come off forced. And like what I feel is that they're just, when an animation does it right, it's often just as good, if not better than the movies. You get the feelings that the characters are trying to put out just as well, and it's sometimes better for me. Like, Studio Ghibli does this so perfectly with just about every movie they put out.
I mean, that's a good point across there. But I was, saying, when you, about the animation, is when you animate something, sometimes most animators are working on deadline. They're not, most, they can go movie actors, they can go back and refilm with that one scene 400 times to get it right.
Not always,
Yeah,
actually.
actually,
Movies
no.
do work on deadlines,
There's
and they're
actually-
But the
very
fact is,
set kind of
they can extend, and even video games extend the deadline if they're not working with the that's why it's already been pushed
There-
back.
No,
There's
only
actually-
very big movies normally are
Hold on,
extend
Latrell, there's
deadlines. Smaller
actually-
movies, budgets don't have
Hold on.
such normally.
Latrell, there's actually a director. He's not as big as like Spielberg and stuff, but he's famous for one thing. When he makes a movie, even if it's a low budget movie, he will literally, if he doesn't get it right the first time, I looked him up. I forgot his name actually. One of his movies, he actually made the actors do one scene over 126 times before they finally got it right. And he had a deadline of a year to make the movie, which most movies have.
Most, not all.
Most. I said most.
Actually, many lately have been a lot longer than that.
Yeah, because
But those are really big budget movies, like the Marvel movies.
Well,
where
you-
you have to have a lot of big scenes.
the thing is, you gotta remember, is with movies, they have to, they pitch the scripts, they have to do all, with animation, you could be independent and not have to rely on anybody.
You cannot do
Yes,
animation
you can-
independently.
Actually, you can have separate
really
teams
good.
actually doing certain things while you're getting other teams ready, so that way you actually can make your deadline.
No, just leave saying
No.
single.
Yeah, no, I mean, with animation is, if you're good enough and you want to put in that time and effort, and especially if you're doing like something very silent, for animation, and you don't require work like this, you can go off, and be some of the best animators you ever did,
Well, like
Well,
that just sounds like doing the
you also-
1 to 2 person film.
Yes,
It's
but
kind of something you can
but the
do,
thing
but
is-
it's not.
it all depends on your skill level. But the fact is that when you make these big budget movies, you have these crews of hundreds of people to make sure things go right. You need a certain prop. They'll go out hundreds of miles to get that one thing, or they'll travel across the world to do it. Again, they have time. They can pace this in. They can get the time frame right. I mean, they can green screen shit if they need to.
Yeah,
Anime doesn't do that.
obviously, but that's the thing. Anime also doesn't have the budgets that they would
Yes.
have.
I mean,
Just imagine an anime film with like $100 million budget.
yeah,
That would literally be one of the best things ever. They could have hand drawn
So-
everything.
It would
From
be
what-
the best
So
CGI
what from
film.
I'm
No,
hearing,
it wouldn't even be CGI.
from what
Yeah.
I'm hearing from both of you is that movies have a broader thing to use, a broader spectrum to use, so they can make it with less fan service, so they can actually get it right. But from what I'm hearing between you two discussing, anime, if you're gonna put the fan service to work so you can complete your project, put it in. From what I'm hearing, even if you don't, even because you're trying to make this project, but then you got to admit, if you make the project and your boss is asking you to finish it, and if you have to put in this fan service, are you gonna finish it?
But wait, what you're saying, like, okay, that's kind of not the thing, because fan service is normally something done to get viewers. But if your story is good enough, you don't really need the fan service,
But
do
the
you?
fact is, the fan service, most of the time, is putting things as a way to attract people to the show, and that's why you see some shows, the fan service just kind of dies off afterwards. It's just trying to gather the audience, get them into what you're doing. That way, when it's for the revenue, because a lot of
Yeah,
money
But
is
then they
based off.
continue it.
Yes, a lot of revenue is based on the amount of viewers. That's why if you see in some anime, if it dies out after 12 episodes because it just can't keep up with the amount of viewers because it rushed it compared to animes that go on 30, 40 episodes where it takes the time and it's not rushed and when it's actually better. But you also remember these studios are, probably 15 members to a studio compared to, if you ever looked at a movie, the credits of a movie, there's hundreds of names on that, credits. And if you look at the credits of an anime, even in English dub, when everything's translated to English, it's not as long. So you gotta think about the resources they have to actually make it work, which is why fan service is sometimes put in there just to try to gather people. I mean, some people it's intentional, sometimes it's accidental, and you never know what it's going to be.
Alright. So I get what you're saying, which is that normal things don't need as much fan service because they have their crews work, right?
Yes.
But that's the thing with animation. You can choose whatever the hell you want to be in. You don't really need the fan service. You can make hundreds of thousands of different scenes at your whim. You can plan it out without fan service at all. And with that crew, you can easily get it done. If you the effort to put in fan service is going to be the same effort to put in a dialogue written scene.
Alright. Can I just ask a question to all four of you? He is listening over there. He just not. If you had, to make any genre, you gotta think about it. Are you gonna make a genre A that you really enjoy, but it may not get a lot of attraction, or B, you may enjoy the genre and make a lot of money, but it's not what you want to your heart into, but you're trying to get the money for revenue. So if you guys had to pick a genre right now, without having time to think, what genre would you want to make that would make you believe you want your heart and soul into to make money?
Obviously, the one I'm proud of. I'm not gonna waste my effort
I'm
on
asking
time.
I'm asking specific genre, not.
Alright,
Fighting tends to bring in a lot.
So we have
Action.
Jamie has fighting.
I'd probably be romance.
Sean has
um,
romance.
definitely adventure. Always with the huge stories and landscapes are amazing.
All right, Connor, what about you? Hello.
I think you
This
have
is
to-
not time for a crapper break. Anyway, well, we'll get his input when he comes back. He's, I think, kind of fun. He's still there.
I feel like he might have passed out.
No, if he did, he would.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
But guys, can I just mention that you guys all pick some of the biggest selling
Maybe
genres out there.
But no,
Maybe he's trying to
they're
get
normally the
such a-
biggest selling genres from how they do. Like, they are also some of the shittiest selling genres when they're not done right.
Hold on, Latrell, let me ask you a question. If you had to choose any genre that you say should completely kill fan service, like never put it into it, which one would you choose?
So that just completely killed fan service.
Yes. Like just
Wait, do I get to decide what type of fan service it should kill?
No, I mean like he's
Or-
saying,
no,
he's
just
saying no
because-
fan
no.
service in general.
One minute,
like,
you
it's
can't
actually-
have something without fan service.
Yes, you can.
No,
That's what y'all-
instinctively,
No,
fan
that's what
service
you're-
is anything
hold on,
that's brought in to bring in
that-
guests.
that-
That's like saying you can have an action thing without the action.
no, but you're telling us
That's what
But
you're
No,
saying.
what I'm saying
telling
is
us-
we don't need the sexual fan service.
No,
that
but
is something that is too
from
much
what,
done.
No, you were saying that at first, but then you paired off and saying we should just not have fan service at all.
Because you
But-
said you were
No,
saying
no,
a
I
lot
was-
of selling
I was
people-
always implying
Alright, no,
sexual.
but see, this is just more questions that we're trying to put out. So he asked you a question. If you could
Alright.
pick
If you have
one
to say,
single genre
I'd have to say
completely
horror.
wipe out fan
Horror
service.
is kind of one of the few that really doesn't need fan service because it can be really original, really intuitive. Horror can be done by
Hey,
anybody
let
because
me
the feeling
actually-
can be unique to
Let me
each.
actually answer your question now. You say horror, but if you actually watch a horror anime, the long fight scenes that some of them have is fan service.
Exactly.
Now, picture. Tell me, if you watch, let's say, have you watched the anime Tokyo Ghoul?
Of course.
How would you think it would look if none of those fight scenes in that anime look?
Fucking beautiful! It would be this. No, wait. It would be a horrifying fucking story about humans being tracked down and killed by monsters, and of interesting conflicts between these. They don't really need the fights. It could have been so political and horrifying. You don't really need to see from the eyes of a guy turned ghoul. No, you see from the human who has just found out about a world of fucking
But see-
monsters that eat humans.
But see,
It
that's-
is just brutal. It's horrifying, and it's so deep
Let's not-
because he found out how good it can,
let's
how bad it is.
Latrell, you just described one of the biggest cliches in movies. Period.
What?
If you look at every single horror film that's out there, you don't see it from the eyes of someone who's been turned into.
Oh no, I've seen quite a few of those.
No, but they're rare.
Not as good
The
Yeah,
fact
so-
is, if you look at most horror movies, it's always from the side of a victim. You don't.
No,
ever,
no, no, no. That's
you-
the point. You
Perfect
can't,
example.
you can't get a horror
Actually,
movie from the
besides-
eyes of the monster because it's not something you relate to. Horror is you relating to the scenario and being scared of it. You can't just say, "Oh, this is a horror movie
But the fact
about giant aliens being scared of people."
No, but that cliche though,
It's not a cliche.
No, that
it's
cliche-
a guideline. It's
No,
like saying action
like,
movies are cliche
I
for
gotta-
fight scenes.
I was gonna say though, right now the horror genre is dying because they cannot do it as well as they could have anymore because they keep using the same old cliche over and over and over.
Yes, but they're using
mean-
certain cliches over and over. But the cliche that they're overusing is obviously not the human aspect. That's like saying, oh, the Bond films and all these like films right now where they have one main protagonist who's fucking amazing and he just beats up all the bad guys
But-
is dying
but
because
we're-
it's one
but we're
person. No,
not-
that's
we're
the whole
not-
point. It's,
See,
you
just-
have to keep the
that's
human
all.
aspect or else you kind of lose it.
That's right. You just transferred over from horror to action.
Yeah, but you're saying the cliche is what's killing it.
Yes, but I'm talking about horror as its genre.
All right. So,
I'm
fine,
not.
So how would
diverting
you
from
really
it.
pitch a legit horror? I'm not talking about an action horror. Real horror that is supposed to give you the feeling of being scared without the perspective of a person.
See, the thing with horror is, yes, I agree with some, depending on the genre, horror. But horror is much more suspense, thriller. Those are the ones that really scare you and bring them.
Those are
I mean,
suspense and thriller.
but
Thriller
that-
is an entirely
if-
different
if I-
category that's based upon the idea that you are in this
But can I?
high stakes moment.
I mean-
Suspense and thriller actually came out of horror.
Horror.
Exactly. But if you look at it, thriller is also many different things. Taken is a thriller because against the clock.
But if
Like,
you actually
adrenaline,
watch,
all this.
like, I'm gonna get off anime first and just
No.
We've
go
been on
anything.
it.
Yeah.
But the
No.
fact,
No, I'm gonna jump into a movie that actually still scares me. Like this series still scares me. It's the Friday the 13th movies and the Nightmare on Elm Street. The old ones still terrify me because they
Because of
use
that-
the horror genre perfectly.
that's what I'm
From the
saying.
human perspective.
They use it from the perspective of multiple people though.
Exactly. I'm
They
not
use
saying
it from
you
the
wouldn't.
killer and
I
his
mean-
victim.
You know what horror is doing now though is they're really bad. And look at Paranormal Activity. Those movies are horrible.
To
If
be
you-
fair, they had a really low budget.
It's not even
Not
about
even low budget. I've seen good
No,
low budgets.
they have 4
Okay.
movies. There's no way they had a low budget for 4 fucking movies.
I feel the
Actually, the
first
started
first
out
the,
with
for the
very
first
low.
one was meant to be low budget.
Yeah,
It
but
was
the
meant
fact
to go.
is, people laugh at those movies. You don't want to be a horror actor and find out everyone you put in a movie there is sitting and laughing at your horror work.
I don't know. The
You-
first movie,
You know
from a
what?
certain standpoint,
No, actually,
That-
yeah. First movie was actually kind of good.
You know,
it was decent considering the
I
fact
think
that
the
it was
only
low
time I
budget, and
actually
it
jumped-
literally did scare me.
Well, technically, the only time I actually jumped in the Paranormal Activity was at the end. Like the rest of it, I laughed at. Cause the only time I actually jumped was when when the lady threw her husband into the camera. That's the only time I jumped.
yeah.
But one minute. Let me just say. It's what she said. The first one was kind of good. One, because it was a new idea, a whole new idea. Low budget doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah.
It was the idea that one, it's this look at a family as shit goes down. It's new. It's actually not cliche yet. They killed it right after by over fucking doing it, movie after movie, and probably just got really shitty and then said it had backstory, which made no sense. But like the first idea was solid. It was strong. It counted as a pretty fucking good horror movie when you think about it. Paranormal Activity. You're stuck in a house and shit starts going down and you don't know why, but you don't see it from all these people. You see it from all these fucking cameras around the house, so you never get the complete story. That's fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
see,
that sounds great.
That's a great concept, and that's what I'm saying.
And like what I'm saying is, there's a lot of great concepts for horror that are being that haven't been used yet. Like let's look at Tokyo Ghoul as a concept instead of what it was. Just imagine a story about these people who can blend in with anybody, yet they eat people. They can't be cut by knives or swords.
yeah,
They are in every essence invulnerable to anything you do.
But themselves.
And let's look at it
Besides
from the
themselves.
point of the people they're attacking. Like, imagine a big group of people who originally found out, and slowly they're being picked off one by one. They don't know what the fuck to do. That would have been an amazing story, which would have been still good without the fan servicey fights.
So you're saying Tokyo Ghoul should have been more?
No, I'm not saying it should have been. I'm saying it would have been great still if it was.
Should have been. Would have been more directly towards the cops and stuff who are trying to kill the ghoul.
No,
That's
not even. I'm just talking about the normal humans.
Hold on. But you gotta look at it. I've
Oh yeah,
I've
you look
watched-
at it from an outside standpoint of someone who wasn't a victim.
no, but
Someone
from what
who
I
just
look,
doesn't
from
know
what
what's
I've
going
seen,
on.
from
Like,
I've
actually, a good
watched-
example was
I've
Kaneki's
watched-
friend.
We're all
Peter.
children. We're all adults here, one at a time.
from what I know and from what I've seen, Tokyo Ghoul was not meant to be that. It was meant to be from the point of one person who became a ghoul.
Oh, I know.
It's from the ghoul's perspective. It's not actually from what I've read on. They don't go to the human perspective, so I don't feel like that would work.
No,
See,
no. One minute. What you're saying is what the story was meant to be. I'm not saying what the story was meant to be. I'm saying another perspective to the story that would have been great. What you're saying is Tokyo Ghoul wouldn't work from the human perspective, but why the fuck wouldn't it? This is literally a world where there are fucking monsters in human skin. That is one of the scariest concepts. Like, done well, it can literally have so many background moments of, it starts this normal school life, a friend goes missing, you're wondering why the hell. In the background, you just see a TV's on talking about ghouls, and it's like all this shit going, ghoul this, ghoul that, and you're just slowly trying to figure it out. That sounds like a horror suspense, amazing thing, and it wouldn't need the ghoul aspect until later, where you actually find out about ghouls and shit goes down.
Right. If I could just inject real quick, I think the horror genre is dying out because people are becoming too used to gore and violence because it's what they see every day. It's what's always on the news. It's what people,
It's too mainstream.
what horror needs to do now is not horror needs to dig into the fears of the people. And that's what it's not doing. It's not digging into the fears.
I know, I know, but that's what I was also saying.
Look how well Stephen King's It did. It dug into people's fear of clowns. It dug into what people generalize as horrible clowns. And the fact that it sold so well because it was fear. It gave children nightmares. That's what you want out of a horror movie. Something that's going to keep people
I
up
actually
at
never
night.
watched
Yeah.
it.
You should.
Oh, I've
Exactly.
seen it.
See,
Just don't.
When I was really little.
See, you were so terrified of it, you never even watched it. That's what a good horror film
Yeah.
is.
But 1 minute. Like, this is what I'm saying,
Someone's
which
too
is
scared to watch something.
like the horror genre. I don't really think it's dying. I just think that easily horror is the genre that I just don't think is dying because there are always new things to be scared of.
No.
An example is what was it? It was honestly it was a fucking amazing idea. It was that one with the fucking Skype calls. What was it called?
Unfriended.
Unfriended. Unfriended would have been an amazing movie if done right.
Yeah.
From the perspective of a person watching their laptop and it's like, just imagine the concept of all your friends being killed off in a talk and you can't do shit because you can't even get to them.
That's what
Like
they did.
that, no, exactly, but they did it wrong.
Yeah,
And that's
It
the
was just
source
funny.
of many people's nightmares.
No, like that's a fucking horrifying
For
concept to
many
me.
people.
Just like I could just
watching
imagine
your
talking to
friend
somebody
watch,
across the fucking country and they're being hurt or dying and I can't do shit. That is one of my biggest fears.
Yes.
Like that is a concept that could be done so well. Like the problem nowadays is they're focusing on too much of the same shit,
Yeah.
and that's like, but it could easily
Alright,
be fixed.
I'm going to take back what I said about it dying, because I think the horror genre should just kind of go underneath the water for a while. Let it all dissipate for a while. So people aren't, so when a new horror film comes back up, when people got over the horror, but then all the other genres are taken over. No.
No. I'm just gonna say we really went away from the dance on this.
Yes, I know. Well, we'll get back. Yeah.
No, we're not.
Well, the fact is, it's a discussion. It may have started as a discussion, but we're having a discussion, which is what this channel is about.
Alright, yeah.
But as I was saying, people people nowadays are so used to guns, gore, and violence. I mean, look at you. So people, look at people who play Call of Duty and always buy video games, and violence is everywhere. Violence is in schools. It's in reality. People see us as all everything is car crashes, murders, violence, mass shootings, slaughter, and people have just gotten to a point that, and well, you know why people are so afraid of ISIS? Because ISIS is so much fear with you. Because ISIS has made it to a point that you don't know if your next door neighbor is going to turn around and be a member of this thing and bring you in and get you beheaded. It's just still fear because you can't trust your best friend anymore. That's what it is, and that's why people are so numb to the genre of horror, which is why people are laughing at horror films.
No? Alright, so I actually don't think that's true. I think horror does not need to go away at all. I just think we need to stop with the same type of horror. Every fucking horror movie is the same nowadays. It's all...
There's no originality.
Yes, exactly. It's always, ooh, there's a gun, shoot at this monster, zombies, something that chases you down the street because everything needs to have a chase scene. But what I think what we should really be doing is having more slow horror. Nowadays it's all fast horror. It's all fast paced. It's all guns, shooting, violence, blood everywhere.
Quickly.
We need the
the horror and suspense. That's what the good horror movies. That's why the Jason movies were. That's why Friday the 13th was suspenseful. That's why it scares you because they build it up. Your heart starts racing. That's why the horror genre. I think, as I said, they just doesn't need a quick, but it needs just to die down a bit. And so as time goes on, when more originality gets out there, people are actually going to be terrified, and that's what I'm saying.
No, but what
but also, I got to admit though, horror needs to bring in new ideas, but from what they need to do is also they gotta revamp some of the old ideas they have, but they also have to bring in that psychological perspective. Because horror, if you actually bring in that psychological suspense and thriller, all of this, you gotta admit that is a good thing for horror. Because that gets you, because you're trying to survive, but then with the psychological, you don't know who to trust anymore. You don't know if you could kill him and then you be the murderer. And
Alright. And now, why do you think that would not work for Tokyo Ghoul as human? That would be the exact idea I pitched. It would be beautiful.
But
it would be episodes of not knowing what the fuck is going on.
But
is he a ghoul? Is she a ghoul? It is literally one of the best ideas.
Hold on.
But it's not. It's all we're ghouls fighting. That's the entire thing of Tokyo Ghoul.
The fact is, they do get good at human studies, but they don't do it in the right way. They don't. That's why.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm looking at Teku, as a coffee shop. People that did rules, they're not going out killing it. They've gone and tested the bodies on people who committed suicide.
Yeah, wait a minute. No, but I'm not.
But I'm saying, if you want to make it that like you're saying, they had made it so you have like music.
Yeah, no. 1 minute. I get that, but what I was saying was like, it's not about them. Like that's just a small faction. Obviously, in anything, there's gonna be different viewpoints. But what I'm saying is like Tokyo Ghoul as a real horror. I'm gonna be completely honest. Tokyo Ghoul is not horror.
Horror is back. Because again.
Okay.
Harry, you alive?
Sort of, not really. That protein chick hit me pretty hard.
Oh. Well.
I just passed that out, so.
I told you.
You warned me, I know.
No, I told Chris. I told Chris that you probably passed out.
But I was just listening to you guys talking about the horror genre and like horror movies and horror anime, and I kind of want to throw a tangent.
Yeah, please do.
A tangent topic in there, which relates directly to fan service, but not in terms of like a media standpoint. Have you guys ever thought about how theme park owners or haunted houses work. Like how the owners are thinking when it comes to the next season.
Oh, shit.
They're wanting to satisfy as many people as possible, make things bigger, make things better, scarier, all that stuff. Take for example, just easily enough going along the horror genre, haunted houses. Every single year, you can go to a haunted house in any direction, and it'll get scarier and scarier and scarier because the owners are looking to make not only just make more money, but to scare more people and to satisfy more people.
That's a good point. You know, in reality, as is based on what the Hot House fan services thing in everyone's daily lives as it is, most people don't, are oblivious to it unless it's put right in front of them, like anime does, or some movies do, or even a haunted house. Unless it's put right in front of your face, people are oblivious to fan services in their life. Which is, I mean, even daily, can't think of any examples, that may happen in your life, but fan services in your life on a daily, you never realize it.
If you want to think fan service in life, everything from TV shows to commercials is fan service. Like, have you ever seen a commercial where they use
It's
a
meant to
Marvel
draw in
superhero
crowds.
to suddenly do something? That's fan service.
But have you ever seen a commercial lately, besides ones that they make new ones for, like the big old championship games of like sports and stuff? Have you ever noticed when you're watching TV and you'll see a commercial and it doesn't catch your eye, you're just like, change the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're oblivious to it. You have seen it so many times that you're oblivious.
That or it doesn't really use the fan service. There's many that don't.
Anyway. But yeah, I was thinking, Tank probably put in there because it's true. I mean, yeah, I think, as I was saying with the hard on, they do, just slowly, go on a hiatus. Maybe fans of anime is one of those things that need to go on a hiatus unless it's meant for a specific genre, which is why we exclude the ecchi because, but, I believe in reality, certain topics every now and then just need to go on a hiatus. And that way when they come back, they're better. I mean,
I think
musicians.
I know a hiatus that needs to happen for certain types of anime.
But I mean, musicians do it all the time too, and that's when they come back, people are like, "Holy shit, they're back!"
Or they just suck.
Or they're worse. But the fact
Like
is,
B.O.B. Airplanes.
yes. But the fact is, with the hiatus, I think is a good tool, and I think, the horror genre needs to do that.
The horror genre needs to stop trying to make action.
Fan service needs to do that.
Yeah.
And I think in reality, a hiatus would probably be good for them.
Two things are too much.
Like three
becomes
good
one of
horrors
the-
that would have been great as actual horrors is like Parasite, Tokyo Ghoul, and what was the third one?
I actually liked Parasite.
No, I like them.
Parasite
I
was
like them as they were, but the
once
concept
again-
would have been way better for legit horror. Those are all very psychological, very big.
I have a feeling that Parasite wasn't meant to.
Oh no, it was not.
No, I
No,
believe
You'd be pretty mentally messed up.
No, but I
if you
mean,
had this
I-
thing
If
attached to your-
something in school just killed you by in front of you,
No,
yeah.
but I think Parasite was meant to be more
psychological.
psychological, not more, let's make blood. Yes, it had blood and gore and the typical horror thing, but it
I
was
think horror's not just a horror.
no,
thing.
but I mean, it's more horror.
No,
Yes, fighting too.
it's fan service.
Well, technically, I think Parasite should be more categorized as psychological because
It's
you.
I mean,
Because
then that's the same thing with Tokyo Ghoul.
yeah. So Tokyo Ghoul is psychological too. I mean,
It's not really horror at this
well,
point.
technically,
There
if
is
you
nothing
actually
to be
look at
scared of.
if you actually look at the main character, delving deep into this madness because he has somebody else's organs in him who's making him crazy.
yeah, it's a psychological effect.
He
It's
went crazy
psychological
because he got
for sure.
tortured,
No,
not because he had
yeah,
organs.
but
Even if you watch
was
it,
losing
he's
his humanity.
losing.
Slowly, yes.
Before,
It's people.
he's torn
Yeah, it's a
between-
very psychological thing.
I mean,
but,
if
like,
you-
the idea is
I mean,
not
look at-
from implanted organs. It all comes
Yeah,
from,
look at
suddenly
Tokyo
I'm
Ghoul.
not human.
He goes through a typical stage of depression too. He tries to commit suicide because he doesn't want to believe that he's this monster that.
That's
was
literally
not-
minutes
Did he try-
after he discovered
Yes.
what he...
But the
Well,
thing
no,
about-
no,
I thought
that's,
maybe-
he didn't try to commit suicide. He was
Yeah, he
just
did.
checking.
He was
No,
trying to
no,
save
no,
himself.
he was trying to sell himself to see if he could get hurt.
That's still a form
He
of
was
suicide.
trying
And he was going-
It was more of a test.
No, see, if he was trying to see if he could get hurt, he would have, tried to just done a simple thing. But in fact, he was going for his organs. That's
He was
a form
going
of suicide.
straight for his organs.
But the
I
fact
wouldn't
is-
really count that as a suicide
that-
attempt
that's
because
a
if
second-
he wanted to say suicide attempt, he could have jumped from somewhere just as easily.
That's a
He
second-
wouldn't have given up after the first try.
But the fact is that the psychological fact is he tried to commit suicide, and then he slowly became accepting of like, this is my life now. I just gotta go on and move with it. That's why, his two statements for the eye patch, because it's just the way he is. It's a psychological between I'm this monster, but I don't want to be, and then getting tortured later on, just kind of blew out that humanity part of it, and the monster took over, which is why it's shown him attacking Rize in his own mind and eating Rize in his mind, which is why after he does that, his hair turned white. He accepted who he is as a monster.
It's exactly change.
Exactly, it's not. See, the horror genre, I think, is not, yes,
They're
horror genre.
not real horror.
Yeah, it's fantasy, but it's not real horror anymore.
No, it's not the fan service.
No,
I'm
but I
saying
mean-
it, they're just simply not horror.
No, but it's fantasy because think about it.
It's just
You had
fighting.
World War Z,
Yeah.
all these
They are-
zombie movies.
Well, they're just pretty much action.
At this point, it's just
I mean, look
action,
at-
though.
At this point,
There's
most
no
zombie movies aren't even
psychological-
horror
But I mean,
anymore.
look at The Walking Dead. I mean, The Walking Dead started out based on the concept it was great, and then they completely ripped it around because people were like, Daryl, 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 and what do? Daryl, Daryl, Daryl.
They focused it more around that.
Because that's what the fans wanted, and that's why a lot of fans really it's what the fans want, and people give it to them because, hey, if they want this person, guess what's making me money? This person.
But then what you're saying with the still The Walking Dead, where you say for horror it needs to be focused on the eyes of somebody who's like not there, like who hasn't survived. Like for The Walking Dead, like it's through the eyes of Rick and his group, but they're already in the position of the whole virus is spreading, everything's already destroyed. But then you got what they just made is Fear the Walking Dead, which is meant to be the psychological version of the horror genre.
I have to watch that to actually believe it.
Alright, guys, as much as I'd like to continue this, we're already about an hour.
Alright.
So let's give you your final thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, so final thoughts on fan service. Sexual fan service isn't needed. Subplot for sexual and romantic scenes are always 10 times better. Horror-wise, horror just needs to stop trying to be action nowadays. That's why they keep failing. And I think that was good.
Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to add?
Me, I believe that some genres need to keep the fan service because it works for them. Not all of them do.
Of course.
Like sports, you can take it out. Like action, you can take out of it. Like adventure. But some of them, you need to have it. Like romance, not edgy is just completely different.
Actually, it's its own.
But like romance, the subplot's good, but you need some fan service to keep your people.
Try not to go to so this is final words, so try not to make any assumptions. This is your final thoughts and everything.
Well, my final thoughts is I believe some need it still, just to make it good.
Alright, Jamie, what about you?
I believe that some genres shouldn't be really crossed over too much. I know this is a bit off from fan service. But
Actually,
thinking
mixing
realistically,
genre is still fan service. No way. So, yeah.
So Kill Ghoul is also.
putting like the fighting genres, action into horror. Perfect example. Not all of that needs to happen. But yeah, that's about it.
Alright, Harry, do you have any parting words? Hello, did you pass out again?
I think he's gone.
Oh, I'm just double over laughing at you guys.
What is your
Wait,
problem?
one minute. Can we keep talking about this after, though?
Yeah. But anyway,
Because you guys are going back and forth, like pretty much arguing, and I'm just laughing over here.
anyway, do you have any final words so we can wrap up?
fan service for fan service's sake is stupid, but fan service to bring in more viewers, I like it. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with this Connor over here about the fact that fan service, I believe, should be based on the genre and not this whole live thing. But in the end, if you everything comes down to the one root of evil that we'll never get rid of.
Fans.
No, money. But anyway,
Fuck money.
that,
We need.
all right, that's everything for now, guys. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye from your token black guy.